Hi, everyone. I am apparently unintentionally dark and mysterious tonight, so let me get a little more light on the subject, especially since we're doing tarot, which should be about illumination, and the goal of tarot is, believe it or not, to reduce mystery a little bit more than it is to produce mystery. So I thought I had done a whole recording on this. I had not. It was, again, one of those white knuckle readings that I seem to be the one to get the most of, and it may be again. So for tonight, I am drawing 4 cards for the month of March, and we are going to take a look and see what that brings us. So for the first week of March, and let me check. Okay, Google, what is the next Mercury retrograde?
Sorry, I don't understand, but I found something related. Do you want to know how is Mercury retrograde affecting you?
No. Okay, Google has gotten, for all the improvements in AI, it seems to have gotten a lot less useful. So for context, I've been a little disappeared from writing because I've been laid out flat sick for the last week. I caught the bug that my kid had running around school. And before that, I was at Convocation, which is this fantastic magic workers convention in Ypsilanti. And I didn't teach this year, so I got to run around and have fun and flirt and get in trouble, and it was fantastic. But March, we do have a Mercury retrograde coming up. I think that it aligning with Lent this year for those that tend to be more introspective and maintain those practices. Lent is a great time for Mercury retrograde because you're supposed to be introspecting anyway. For people like me who are pagan heathens running around like mad, introspection can happen any time of year, and we don't necessarily have religious support for that, but it's not a bad time to take it. So for the first week of March, and I'll be doing these where it's just one for each week, I just pulled Force inverted, one of Fire, one of Wands in a traditional tarot deck. And I think it's that we're all feeling kind of worn out. There's been a lot of stuff getting shoved around. You're not going to be able to post your way out of a bad situation. Everything that's needed has to be done offline. So this is the time to gather up to rest. For those in the Western Hemisphere, in the Northern Hemisphere, excuse me, this is time to be looking at your garden catalogs or stopping by where you get your seeds or checking for your seed exchanges and thinking about what you're building for yourself. There is a reason I flip between activism and hearth and home, and this has a lot to do with it. The next week is lovers. Now, lovers, yes, that can mean, ooh, exciting, sexy, and maybe there'll be something fantastically distracting on television. But lovers is usually about making some choices. And this may even, lovers can show up right side up in a reading where you're going to have to talk about breaking up. It doesn't always show up upside down that way. There's going to be some serious evaluation of, are these relationships working? Is the structure working? It can be a job. It can be where you're living. It can be a relationship of any kind. It may even be with spirits and religious structures that have always served you until now. So the third week is Resurrection Inverted. There are some things we've lost that are not going to be coming back. And there's not going to be a way to get them back. We're just going to have to find a way to build without them. And then for the fourth card for the fourth week of March is Father Water Inverted. And in the original, I didn't realize I wasn't actually live reading. This came up as Brother Wind, but I get the sense it's two connected people. And what I'm hearing, the phrase I'm hearing is loss of faith. There's going to be somebody who is going to end up just losing the faith people have placed in that person, in that leadership. The faith will be gone. I'm unlikely to speak to specifics because I'm not a good person to place bets on. Gamblers, I'm not your person. Excuse me again, I still have this horrible bug. So thank you for your patience with me. And yes, I do private readings. I do cursed readings. Most people are not cursed. Often it is simply a spiritual misunderstanding or a practice that needs a little bit of tweaking. And I am available on weekdays and weekends now. So if you go to dianarachel.com/booking, you can find me there. If you're interested in my magical activism, More of that is happening over on the Spirited Witch Patreon, and of course on Substack. I am all over the place. So stay magical, and thank you so much for taking the time.